Legendary bassist Billy Sheehan, you might have heard of him from Talus, Mr. Big, The Winery Dogs, Sons of Apollo, the Daily Rock Band, many other things. I think he's quite famous. Apart from his playing style, Billy Sheehan's tone not only comes from his fingers, but a couple of key critical parts that he has in his signal chain. One is the drive that he uses, the other one is the compressions that he uses. Over the last few years, Billy Sheehan's been working with EBS, the Swedish effects pedal company, to replace the function of his Pierce BC1 preamp. He also worked with Line 6 to create a replica of his Ashley compressor, the Rochester. In this video, we're going to cover off a comparison between the drives, the Billy Sheehan signature drive, specifically the Ultimate drive, the blue one, and the BusyOneJump, which is the replication of Billy's Pierce BC1. Let's check it out. So, before we get started, let's have a look at the a couple of the pedals. So Billy's partnered with EBS for 3 editions or 3 versions of his pedal. This is the first one, the original signature drive. It's purple. It has a drive, tone, level, and clean settings. Now, the clean allows you to blend more of your clean signal in with the dirt that the pedal's getting. The other, I think, unique part of this pedal is that it has an effects loop on both the clean side and also on the processed overdriven side. So you could decide that you want to come in clean, use the drive, and then have a phaser that you're driving on the outside. Or you might decide you want to put chorus on the clean side and have that, and then overdrive the chorus sound. So the pedal's actually quite good. I've used this for a number of years until I got my Line 6 Helix, and then I no longer had a requirement for it. However, recently a friend of mine bought me the latest edition, which is the Billy Sheehan Ultimate drive. And so I've looked at how this will compare. So that's basically what this video is about. So the Ultimate drive, again, has drive, tone, level, and an ability to mix in the clean sound. But what it also has is, in addition to compressor, so the original one had a high or low compressor function. That adds a little bit of compression to it. This one has the high, mid, and off. You can turn the compressor off, mid or high, and it also has you can affect the high frequencies or the low frequencies, and it also has a normal or inverted phase. So that allows you to avoid some phase cancellation if you're using, especially if you're using the effects loops. So I have this connected into the Line 6 Helix LT, into the FX Loop 2. So I've got the send 2 going into the pedal, and then I've got the pedal going out to the return 2 on the thing. So let me just put some power and add that in. On the screen here, what I've got is, this is my standard my standard preset I use with my BB7 bass. This is running in active mode. I've got it set relatively flat. I'm only using the P pickup, and it's on full. So the bass, my tone sounds like this. If I run through what I've got, down the bottom path, Path B, which I'll just isolate for you, Path B. This is a Rochester comp, which will have fairly well default settings. It's only a 4.5:1 ratio, fairly quick attack and release. And that's really used to put some drive into the, and clean up the bass. On the amp side, I'm using Ampeg SVT4 Pro, relatively mid-set. I've got the treble backed off a little bit. I do play around with that. Sometimes I push that up more in line with the bass, but at the moment that's what I've got. And I'm using an 8x10 with a 52 dynamic set at the cap edge. You'll see I've got a low cut around 37 Hertz, and this is so that I can avoid some of the bottom end of the kick drum. I do usually bump that a little bit. Actually, I might put that up a little bit to around 45. Again, just to get some clarity between the kick drum. So now that I've done that, to save it, this bottom path should sound like this. Should be nice and clean. Again, I'm using on this, I'm using the 52 dynamics to give me a little bit more depth to the sound. This is the underlying clean bass sound that I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to add the top line, which is the overdriven side, which is going to be a bit more on the thinner side. So I want to try and keep a bit of bass resonance in here. Normally I would use a 57 to get a bit brighter, but because of the way I'm using the distortion side with the Pierce or the effects pedal, I'm giving this a little bit more depth. So if I put this over to the far left, so now we're adding just to the top line. The top line is affecting my overdrive and my effects. I'm not affecting the underlying bass sound, I'm affecting the overdriven tone. So I've got a 3-band comp, which I'm using to push the preamp on this line, and the preamp in this case is effectively being a drive or an overdrive pedal. In this case, I'm using the BusyOneJump. So again, this is the one that Line 6 modeled specifically off Billy Sheehan's modified Pierce BC1. And this is with channel 1 and channel 2 together with a jump. And that's what's giving this sound. Then I'm using a Rochester comp on there just to tame that a little bit. And then in my signal, I'm adding a script mod phase. I like to put a phaser or sometimes a chorus to give me a fatter sound. Playing in a 3-piece band, it gives me a bit more depth. And then I'm using a cab on the back here. It's a 410 with a 57 dynamic. The 10 gives me a bit of tightness in that sound, and the 57 dynamic gives it a bit more of a brighter tone. And so I'm doing that more of an EQ than anything else. So if I play through that top line only, it should sound something like this. And then if I then reset that back to the center, and you'll see on the output side, I've got it set to equal output. So equal input, channel comes through to both, comes out equally. And the only thing I've done is I've inverted the B channel to get, again, around that phasing thing. I don't want to phase out and get it sounding very thin. So again, this is what it should sound like with both channels going. All I'm going to do now is swap out this Pierce BC1 with the effects loop 2. So if I double click on this one, so you'll see everything else is exactly the same settings on everything, same cabs, same phaser, same compressors, etc. All I'm doing is going out to the pedal. So the pedal, let's see how that sounds. And I'll just read out the pedal settings to you. I've got, again, very little drive. I'm pushing the level of the pedal up. I've got the phase set to inverted. I've got it setting on the high frequencies. I'm modifying or driving the higher frequencies. And I've got the compression on the pedal set to high. The tone, I've adjusted to be a little bit, it's around 1 o'clock. And the clean, I don't have anything going through the clean sub, so I'm getting, that one's not really doing anything for me. So again, I'll just play a little bit between the two of them and you can let me know which one you think is better in the comments. I think to my ears, the pedal sounds more analog and a bit warmer, but I really like the tone that's coming through the Helix in the box. I was really happy with my Line 6 modeling in the box. However, the pedal's pretty close and may even be warmer. So I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below which one you preferred and which one you think I should change over to for my sound. Don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep making more videos. And if you haven't checked it out, check this one out.